Hello and welcome to our final video on the foundational principles of health, and today I'm going to be addressing the point of thinking. Now, our thoughts are very powerful and they directly affect our health and well-being, both physically and mentally. And we've probably all experienced the placebo effect for ourselves or seen someone who has to know that it's real. Now, the placebo effect and epigenetics go hand in hand. So yet again, I'm going to advise you to go and research into epigenetics, as mentioned in the original couple of videos. And Dr. Bruce Lipton's work is amazing. He's got a series on Gaia TV called Inner Evolution, where he breaks down the science and the mechanisms behind it all. And Dr. Joe Dispenza's work as well is just as good, and he's got a book called How to Break the Habit of Being Yourself, and a series on Gaia TV called Rewired. So check them out, do them justice, and remember that knowledge is power. Now, the placebo effect can work both ways. It can have a positive effect and a negative effect. An example of a positive effect would be one study I read found that participants who took part in the study, who expressed the gene associated with inflammation, could actually suppress that gene and totally reverse the outcome by just following 8 hours of guided meditation. Now, that's an extremely positive benefit and highlights the true power of our thoughts. But it can also work the opposite way. And negative thinking, or thinking thoughts of fear and living in a state of stress, directly suppresses our immune system and diminishes our health by raising cortisol levels and signaling cells to function in different ways due to epigenetics. So we need to be conscious of our thoughts. Deepak Chopra's work into the placebo effect actually found that we have over 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day, 80% of which are negative, and over 95% are the same as the day before. So that's a lot of repetitive negative thinking. So what can we do? Some tips. So one tip I'll give my health and lifestyle clients, and I use myself, is to remain present with our thoughts. So you can use mindfulness techniques and things like that, they work great. But a real simple one that I use is to stay present with your thoughts, acknowledge when we experience a negative thought, give thanks to it, and then replace it with a positive thought using a mantra or an affirmation. You can create any kind of mantra or affirmation that you want, just use something that's simple and quick and really positive and healthy thinking. When you do this, this will begin to rewire your brain over the coming days. It takes about 21 days to form a new habit, and you can be on the road for positive thinking on a regular basis. Just note that you need to stay present with your negative thoughts and replace them often. Now, our next tip is to control the controllable and don't focus our energy on the uncontrollable. If we can't control something and it's out of our domain to control, then why focus your energy on it and create a stress response and have all these negative effects that affect our health and immunity? So focus your energy on what you can control in your lives and just invest in that, because if we're investing in the uncontrollable, we're just going to spiral and have a huge negative impact on our lives overall. Another little tip I'm going to give you is to stay grounded and don't stress over the small things. So you might be stuck in quarantine and your kids are leaving things on the side, or your dog's playing up. Address it from a point where you're grounded and your communication is coherent. Don't raise your cortisol levels and get really stressed out and get mad at yourself or the person who's annoying you. Just stay grounded, stay level-headed, and just approach it from a position of calmness. Now, they're my top tips for healthy thinking and remaining calm, especially during this time. So try them out for yourselves. But I'm going to highlight again, check out epigenetics and Dr. Joe Dispenza and Dr. Bruce Lipton's work, as it is amazing. And I'm just going to highlight as well that everything that's been mentioned in these videos, I want you to try at least one tip, because changing just one thing in any of the videos will go a long way. But do your research as well and try it out and experience it for yourself. Don't just take my word for it. Use experience as a way to learn. Now, our next videos are going to be on some movement and that breathing technique that I mentioned. So I look forward to seeing you then. And I hope you've enjoyed this little mini series. So I'll see you later.